Hello, and welcome back to Real English Fluency. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt stuck while speaking English? You know some words, you can understand people, but when it's your turn to speak, your mind just goes blank? If that happens to you, don't worry. Today's video will show you exactly why reading English is the secret key to unlocking your confidence, your fluency, and even your success in life. Stay with me till the end. I promise you'll never look at English reading the same way again. And hey, comment below right now. Do you also struggle when speaking English? Even though you study it, I'm reading every comment. Chapter 1. The Hidden Power of Reading. Do you know the real reason why most people never become fluent in English? It is not because they are not smart. It is not because they don't work hard. It is because they try to speak before they learn to think in English. And the secret to thinking in English is reading. Reading is not just looking at words on a page. It is like food for your brain. When you read, your mind starts to build pictures, ideas, and feelings in English. You slowly start to think in English without even trying. This is how real fluency begins. Many learners make one big mistake. They only focus on grammar rules and speaking practice. But have you ever noticed something? The more you try to remember rules, the more confused you feel. That is because language does not grow by memorizing. It grows by understanding, by seeing words in real life again and again. Reading gives you that. When you read, your brain connects words to meaning. It learns how sentences work naturally. You do not have to force it. It just happens. Think about how children learn their first language. They don't study grammar books. They listen, they read stories, they understand, and then one day, they speak. You can do the same with English. Imagine reading a short story in English. You see how people talk, how they express love, fear, dreams, and goals. You learn real emotions, not just vocabulary. You begin to understand English as a living language, not a school subject. That is the power of reading. Every page you read gives you something new. A new word, a new idea, a new way to think. When you read daily, even for 10 minutes, your English slowly becomes alive inside you. You don't notice it at first, but one day you start understanding songs, movies, or people around you without translation. That is the magic moment when you realize reading has changed you. Many people say, "But I don't have time to read." Let me tell you something. You don't need hours. You just need consistency. Even one page a day is enough to build your fluency. One page a day is one step closer to the English you dream of speaking. Think about that. In 1 year, you can finish many books, and your mind will be filled with thousands of new words and ideas. That is how you grow. Reading is also peace. When you sit with a good story, your mind becomes calm. You forget stress. You enter another world. It is not only learning English. It is self-care. It is healing. And when you enjoy learning, you learn faster. You may ask, will reading really help me speak better? Yes, it will. Because when you read, you fill your mind with the right words and phrases. Later, when you speak, those same words come out naturally. You don't have to translate or search for them. They are already inside you. Think about successful people around the world. Almost all of them read. Reading gives them knowledge, language, and power. It changes how they think. And when your thoughts change, your life changes too. English reading can do the same for you. It can open new doors, new dreams, and new opportunities. So, if you are learning English and feel stuck, stop worrying, start reading. Start small. Choose something simple and interesting. Don't rush. Feel every word. Let English slowly become your friend. With every page, you are building the foundation for fluency. You don't have to be perfect. You only have to begin. Remember, reading is not a task. It is a gift. A gift that makes your mind strong, your heart open, and your future bright. Keep watching because in the next part, I will tell you what happens inside your brain when you read in English. You will be surprised by how powerful it is. Chapter 2: What reading does to your brain. When you read in English, something amazing happens inside your brain. It is quiet from the outside, but inside, your brain is busy creating magic. Every word you read connects to a picture, a sound, and a feeling. It is like building a small English world inside your mind. Let me explain it simply. When you read, your eyes send signals to your brain. Your brain starts linking the new English words to meaning, memory, and emotion. It doesn't just remember the word, it understands it. And that is what makes the difference between knowing English and living in English. The more you read, the stronger these connections become. Imagine your brain as a big city. Every new word is like a road that connects two places. When you read every day, you are building hundreds of new roads. One day, your English becomes a big, beautiful city where everything is connected. That's how fluency grows, not from memorizing words, but from building connections. Science also says reading activates many parts of the brain at once: language, memory, imagination, and even a emotion. That is why when you read a story, you can feel what the character feels. You are not just reading, you are living it. Your brain practices English without you even trying. Now think about how we learn by listening. When you listen, your brain is active, but only for a short time. When you read, you control the speed. You can stop, imagine, repeat, or feel. This makes your learning deeper. That is why reading gives results that stay with you for life. Have you ever noticed how some people speak English so smoothly? It is not only because they practice speaking, it is because they have filled their mind with thousands of sentences through reading. Their brain already knows how English sounds, looks, and feels. When they speak, words come out easily. That is the secret behind fluency. Reading also helps you remember faster. When you read a new word in a sentence, your brain connects it to the meaning. Later, when you hear that word again, it feels familiar. You don't have to translate it. You just understand it. That is when you start thinking in English naturally. Let me tell you something powerful. Every page you read is training your brain to become stronger, sharper, and faster in English. It's like going to the gym, but for your mind. At first, it feels slow. You may not see big changes, but after a few weeks, you will notice it. Your brain will start catching words faster, understanding ideas better, and remembering more without effort. There is another beautiful thing. Reading changes your mood. When you read, your brain releases positive chemicals that make you feel calm and focused. You start enjoying learning. You forget fear and stress. That is why reading every day, even for a few minutes, can make you feel more confident and happy. Reading also improves your imagination. You start to think bigger. You begin to dream in English. You start to believe that you can do more, be more, and achieve more. And that belief, that small feeling of yes, I can, is where true learning begins. So, reading does not only teach you English words, it teaches your brain how to think differently. It changes how you see yourself. It makes you believe in your power. Every sentence you read is a step toward a stronger, more confident version of you. Now, you might be thinking, what should I read? Should I read books, stories, or articles? Don't worry. In the next chapter, I will show you exactly what kind of reading helps you the most, especially if you are a beginner. You will learn what to read, what to avoid, and how to make reading the most powerful habit of your English journey. So stay with me. The next part will make everything clear and simple. You'll see that reading English is not hard. It's actually the easiest and most peaceful way to become fluent. Chapter 3: What you should read and what you should avoid. Now you understand how powerful reading is. But here's the truth. Not everything you read will help you learn faster. Some things can even slow you down. What you read matters as much as how often you read. Many learners make one big mistake. They pick books that are too difficult. They see a big English novel and think, if I read this, I'll become fluent. But then they open it, and they don't understand most of the words. They feel tired. They feel lost. And soon, they stop reading. That's not your fault, it's the material. The secret is to choose reading that feels easy and interesting. When your brain enjoys what it reads, it learns faster. When it struggles too much, it gives up. So the first rule is this: read something that makes you feel good, not something that makes you feel small. Start simple. Simple is powerful. You don't need to read Shakespeare or difficult novels. You can start with short stories, children's books, or easy English articles. You can even read English subtitles when watching movies or YouTube videos. That's still reading, and it helps more than you think. If you love stories, read storybooks written for English learners. These books use simple words, but strong emotions. You'll understand more, feel more, and learn more. You'll start noticing how sentences flow, how people talk, and how emotions sound in English. That's how your natural English voice grows. If you love learning new things, read articles or blogs about topics you enjoy: sports, travel, food, or motivation. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you enjoy it. Because when you enjoy, you remember. And when you remember, you grow. Avoid reading things that are too formal or full of difficult words at the start. Many textbooks use old or unnatural language that can make you feel bored and confused. Reading should make you smile, not stress. Choose books that speak to your heart. Another mistake many learners make is reading only for vocabulary. They write down every new word and try to memorize it. That kills the joy of reading. Don't do that. You don't need to know every word. You can guess the meaning from the story. Your brain will learn faster that way. When you see that word again and again, it will stick naturally. Think of reading like a conversation with a friend. When your friend talks, you don't understand every single word, right? But you still understand the meaning. Reading works the same way. You just need the message, not perfection. Also, don't read something only because someone said it's good. What's good for them may not be good for you. You must feel connected to the story or topic. If it doesn't make you curious, put it down and find something else. It's okay. The goal is not to finish a book. The goal is to fall in love with English. Start with small goals. Read one short story a week. Read one article every morning. Read a few paragraphs before bed. Slowly, you'll notice your reading speed growing, your understanding getting deeper, and your fear disappearing. And remember, your first book or story doesn't have to be perfect. It only has to make you want to read more. Once you finish one, you'll feel proud. That feeling will push you to read another one. And another. That's how reading becomes a habit. So, what kind of reading should you do? The answer is simple. Fun reading. The kind that makes you forget you're studying, because the best learning happens when you don't even realize you're learning. In the next part, I'll show you exactly how to read, how to use every page in the smartest way. You'll learn small techniques that can make your reading 10 times more powerful. Simple steps that will help you enjoy reading and learn faster at the same time. So, stay with me. The next part will show you how to turn reading into your strongest English skill. Chapter 4. How to read the right way. Now that you know what to read, it's time to learn how to read the right way. Many people read, but they don't read effectively. They move their eyes across the words, but their mind is somewhere else. They read fast, but they don't understand deeply. Reading like that gives very little result. So, how do you read the right way? You don't need to be perfect. You only need to be present. When you sit with a page, give it your full attention. Forget your phone. Forget time. Let the words touch your mind. Read with feeling. Read with curiosity. That's how your brain starts learning deeply. When you find a new word, don't stop and open a dictionary immediately. Try to guess the meaning first. Look at the sentence. Feel the situation. Your brain is smarter than you think. It can understand meaning through context. When you guess, you train your brain to think in English. When you always translate, you train it to think in your first language. So, guess first. Translate later if needed. Another powerful method is to read aloud. When you speak what you read, you connect your eyes, your voice, and your ears. You practice pronunciation, rhythm, and understanding all at once. You also feel more confident. Don't worry about mistakes. Nobody is watching. It is just you and your learning journey. If reading aloud feels hard, try shadow reading. It means reading along with an audio. Listen to a short story or an article, and follow the text with your eyes and voice. You'll start to hear how native speakers use tone, emotion, and speed. Slowly, you'll sound more natural too. Remember this: reading is not about speed, it's about understanding. Don't rush to finish pages. Take your time. Feel the sentences. If one line makes you feel something, stop and think about it. That's real learning. You can also use a notebook. Write down the lines or words that touch your heart. Not every new word, only the ones that really stand out. Read them again later. Try to use them in your own sentences. This is how you make the language yours. Some people read without emotion. They treat reading like homework. But reading is not homework. It's discovery. It's travel without moving. When you read, imagine the places. See the people. Hear their voices. Smell the air. Feel their emotions. When you live the story, your brain remembers it forever. If you feel tired while reading, don't give up. Take a short break, then come back. Even 5 minutes of reading every day is better than 1 hour once a week. The secret is consistency. Small steps every day build great success. You can also create a small routine. Read at the same time daily, maybe after breakfast or before sleep. Make it your quiet, happy time. Reading should feel peaceful, not like a chore. Don't forget to celebrate your progress. Finished a story? Smile. Understood a paragraph you couldn't last month? Celebrate it. Every small win means your brain is growing. You are becoming stronger. And here's something many learners never realize. When you read the right way, you start thinking in English without effort. You start dreaming in English. You start forming sentences naturally. That's how reading builds fluency. Not overnight, but slowly and beautifully. So, read slowly, read aloud, guess meaning, feel emotions, and most of all, enjoy every single word. Because when you enjoy reading, your brain opens up like a flower. It receives knowledge, confidence, and peace. In the next part, we'll talk about something very special: how reading can build your confidence, not just your English. It can change the way you see yourself and the world. You'll understand how reading gives you the courage to speak, to express, and to believe in your voice. So don't go anywhere. The next part may change the way you see your own potential. Chapter 5. Reading builds your confidence. Confidence is not something we are born with. It grows slowly, like a tree. And one of the best ways to grow it is through reading. When you read, you do not just learn English words. You start to understand ideas, emotions, and the world in a deeper way. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to believe, yes, I can do this. That small belief is where confidence is born. Many English learners feel afraid to speak. They know the words, but when they open their mouth, they freeze. They think people will laugh. They think their accent is bad. They think their grammar is wrong. But the real reason behind this fear is not lack of grammar or vocabulary. It's lack of confidence. And reading helps you fix that from the inside. When you read, you see how people express themselves in English. You see how they build sentences, how they describe feelings, and how they tell stories. Slowly, your mind starts to copy that style. You start thinking, oh, I can say it like this. The next time you speak, the words come more easily. You don't have to fight for them. They are already inside you, waiting to come out. Reading gives you power because it fills your mind with beautiful sentences and strong ideas. It teaches you how to express yourself. It gives you the language of confidence. When you know how to express your thoughts clearly, you automatically feel brave. You no longer stay silent. You speak with calm and clarity. There's another reason reading builds confidence. It changes how you see yourself. Every time you finish a story or an article, your brain feels proud. It tells you I did it. That small success creates a spark inside you. You begin to believe in your ability to grow. That feeling spreads to everything you do: speaking, writing, even life. Reading also teaches you empathy. When you read stories, you step into other people's lives. You see their struggles, their dreams, their courage. You start to feel what they feel. You learn that everyone makes mistakes. Everyone grows slowly. This helps you be kinder to yourself. You stop judging your English. You start enjoying the journey. And when you are kind to yourself, your confidence shines naturally. Let me tell you something important. Confidence doesn't come from speaking perfectly. It comes from feeling prepared. And reading prepares you. When you've read hundreds of words, phrases, and ideas, you're no longer afraid of silence. You have things to say. You have thoughts to share. Reading gives you that voice. Imagine this. You're talking to someone in English. Before you would panic, searching for words. But now, because of your reading habit, your mind is full of words and sentences. You can describe, explain, and express without fear. That's what reading does. It fills your heart with quiet strength. Reading also gives you emotional confidence. It calms your mind. When life feels heavy, reading a good story or a motivational article reminds you that you are not alone. It gives you hope. And when your heart feels strong, learning becomes easier. Even one small story can change your mood, your day, your mindset. It reminds you that you can grow, that you can dream, that you can keep going. Every page you read whispers, you are becoming better. So if you ever feel shy or scared to speak English, start reading more. Let the stories heal your fear. Let the words remind you of your power. Because the more you read, the more you believe in yourself. And once you believe in yourself, fluency will come naturally. In the next part, we'll talk about how to make reading not just useful, but fun. Many learners give up because they find reading boring, but I'll show you how to make it exciting, enjoyable, and even addictive. You'll look forward to reading every day. So keep watching. The next chapter will help you fall in love with reading, maybe even more than your favorite show. Chapter 6: How to Make Reading Fun and Addictive. Many learners start reading with excitement, but stop after a few days. They say reading is boring or I can't focus, but the problem is not reading itself. The problem is how they do it. Reading can be one of the most enjoyable things in your life if you do it the right way. You just need to know how to make it fun. The first step is to stop treating reading like a school lesson. Reading is not homework. It is a doorway to new worlds. You can travel to another country, meet new people, and live 1,000 lives through one book. When you realize this, reading becomes an adventure, not a task. So don't sit down with fear or pressure. Sit down with curiosity. Open the book and ask yourself, what new thing will I discover today? Start with topics that make you smile. If you love sports, read about athletes. If you love movies, read stories about film stars. If you like motivation, read short success stories. When you enjoy what you read, your brain learns faster. It's like eating your favorite food. You don't have to force it. You just enjoy it naturally. Another way to make reading fun is to mix it with your daily life. You can read English captions on Instagram, signs on the street, or menus at restaurants. You can follow short English blogs or news pages about things you already love. Every little bit counts. It keeps your mind active and interested. Set small, easy goals. Tell yourself, I will read for just 10 minutes. Once you start, you'll often want to read more. Don't push for hours. The goal is to enjoy, not to rush. And every time you complete your daily goal, feel proud. That small feeling of success will make you want to come back again tomorrow. You can also make reading exciting by keeping a reading journal. Write down your favorite lines or ideas from what you read. Sometimes, Copy a beautiful sentence and think about why you liked it. This helps you connect with the words emotionally. You'll start to feel that English is not just a language, it's a feeling. Make reading social. Share what you read with friends or family. Tell them about the story or the new word you learned. You can even join online English groups and talk about your favorite books or articles. When you share your learning, your excitement grows. You also learn new perspectives from others. And remember, it's okay to stop reading something that doesn't interest you. Don't force yourself to finish a boring book. Life is too short for boring pages. Close it and pick something new. Reading should always make you feel alive, not tired. Here's another secret. Turn your reading time into a cozy moment. Make tea, sit near the window, or play soft music in the background. Create a small space where your mind feels calm. When reading feels peaceful, your brain connects learning with happiness. That's when reading becomes addictive, in a good way. Reward yourself for progress. Finish a story. Watch a short English movie about the same topic. Learn new words. Try to use them in a short message or comment. The more you use what you read, the more fun it becomes. You'll start to see your improvement, and that will push you to read more. Most importantly, never compare your reading level with others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Some read fast, some slow. Some understand quickly, some take time. That's okay. What matters is that you keep reading. Your only competition is who you were yesterday. When reading becomes a habit, something magical happens. You start missing it when you skip a day. You start craving new stories, new words, new knowledge. That's when you know reading has become a part of your life. So remember, to make reading fun, choose what you love. Read a little every day and let yourself enjoy it fully. Don't chase perfection, chase curiosity. Don't focus on how much you finish. Focus on how much you feel. In the next part, we'll talk about the most powerful truth of all, how reading English can change your entire life. Not just your English, not just your confidence, but the way you think, dream, and see your future. It's a message you don't want to miss. Chapter 7. Reading English can change your life. Reading English is not only about learning a language. It is about changing the way you see yourself and the world around you. When you read, you don't just collect words, you collect ideas, dreams, and courage. You open your mind to a bigger world, a world that waits for you to step in with confidence. Think for a moment about what happens when you read. You meet new people through stories. You travel to new places without leaving your room. You learn about other cultures, other minds, and other ways of living. Slowly, your thinking grows wider. You start understanding people better. You start understanding yourself better. Reading makes you wiser without you even noticing it. English reading gives you the key to a whole universe of knowledge. Most of the world's information, books, research, and ideas are written in English. When you can read English, nothing stays hidden from you. You can learn anything you want, from science to art, from motivation to business. You become independent. You don't have to wait for translations. You can go directly to the source. That power can truly change your life. Reading also shapes your character. When you read about brave people, you start feeling brave too. When you read about kindness, your heart becomes softer. When you read about success stories, you start believing that you can succeed too. Every book, every article, Every story leaves a small mark on your soul. Those marks slowly build the person you become. Sometimes, life feels hard. You may feel stuck or lost. In those moments, reading can lift you up. A single line from a book can give you hope again. It can remind you that every person struggles before they grow. You realize you are not alone. Someone, somewhere, has walked this path before you, and they made it. Reading gives you strength when you need it most. And let's not forget the practical side. When you can read English well, new doors open, you can study abroad, get better jobs, travel with confidence, or communicate with people from all over the world. English connects you to opportunities that can completely change your future. It is not just a skill, it is a bridge to your dreams. Reading also makes you a better thinker. It teaches you to focus, to imagine, to question, and to understand deeply. You start seeing things differently. You stop reacting and start thinking. That is the real education. Not just learning words, but learning how to think. You may not notice it now, but every time you pick up a story or an article in English, you are building your future self. You are creating a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more confident. The small habit of reading every day becomes a quiet revolution in your life. So whenever you feel lazy or tired, remind yourself why you started. You are not just learning English. You are shaping your mind, your confidence, and your destiny. Every page you read brings you closer to the person you want to become. Reading teaches you to dream in English, to plan in English, and to express your heart in English. And when you can do that, you can connect with the world in a way you never could before. You can share your story, your ideas, and your voice with millions of people. That is what real freedom feels like. So, keep reading. Don't stop, even one page a day matters. Read stories that inspire you. Read words that make you feel alive. Read things that remind you of who you want to be. Because every word you read is a step toward your brighter future. Now you've reached the end of this journey. You've learned why reading is so powerful, how it builds your brain, how it grows your confidence, and how it can change your life forever. The next step is yours. If this video inspired you, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends who are also learning English. Tell me in the comments, what's the first English book or story you'll start reading today? Remember, your journey to fluency starts with one small page. One page today can create a completely different you tomorrow. So open that book, start reading, and let English open the door to your new life.